Hey everybody, how are you guys doing today? My name is Nick, otherwise known here as Avialence, and welcome to the Battlefield Hardline Open Beta. Now, I am playing this on the Xbox One. This is the Open Beta that just went live today, February 3rd, and I gotta admit, guys, I'm quite impressed. This actually was a beta I wasn't even planning on playing. This is a game I wasn't planning on picking up, based on the E3 reception last year when they announced the demo of 2014. They were like, alright, here you go, demo's available now, go check it out. Now, naturally, I was a huge fan, and I went and I checked it out, because I'm a big fan of Battlefield, and while Battlefield 4 was a bit of a disappointment to me, I really didn't get into it because it had all the issues up front, and when games tend to have issues up front, I go ahead and I move on, because there's plenty of things to play, right? But Battlefield Hardline was one of those games where the original closed beta and, of course, the earlier testing that I was able to take part in were a bit of a letdown. You know, it felt like Battlefield 4. It had a lot of glitches, some small animation issues, and basically it lacked a lot of polish that I've come to expect when Battlefield games are tested in the beta phase. So, I'm pleased to announce that Battlefield Hardline looks a hell of a lot better than it did last year. And I think this goes to show a very important point. That is that game delays are a good thing. A lot of people were very disappointed when Battlefield Hardline was delayed from October of last year to a March release of this year, 2015, and I think it was actually a very smart decision, and this beta speaks for itself. The game looks a lot more polished. There's a lot of very important things that have been added to the game and a lot of really cool balancing. All the gameplay you guys are seeing today is from the game mode Heist, which I think has received a significant balance. I remember playing Heist and ziplining around buildings and really not understanding what I was doing, right? Trying to get packages out. And this mode is actually a lot better. So essentially, you're going to start on the map. And on the map, you know, at least in the beta map, so to speak, you've got 3 points that you have to defend, or 3 points that you have to extract package to from the bank vault. So when both teams start out, like you guys saw in the intro, the cops rush to try to defend and set up positions, and the robbers rush to try to go ahead and get in there and lock the cops out. Now, the vault on this map actually has 3 breach points, which I think is really cool. So while the vault door can be locked and can only be opened from the inside, it can actually be breached with explosive charges from the roof, from the right wall, and then from the back wall, and then you can obviously open the door and have more access. The nice thing that I really like about this, and one of the biggest changes, to be honest with you guys, is that the heists, at least as far as this map go, feel very infantry driven, and I absolutely love it. I've always loved Battlefield for the infantry combat. Obviously the vehicles are a huge part of this, but when it comes to cops versus robbers, I wanted that amazing infantry combat, and I have to say that they've delivered when it comes to this beta. Everything feels a lot more fluid, right? The guns feel a little bit more solid. I personally was using the M4 carbine quite a lot because it is the M4 carbine that I miss. I miss so much from the earlier Battlefield games when I was playing Battlefield 4. That carbine is not a couple round burst gun. That's not how it works. That's the M16. Anyway, I'm not going to leave a grudge. But I absolutely love the carbine in this game. And I love, too, they've actually added cop-specific weapons and robber-specific weapons, which I love. I find that very attractive when it comes to sidearms, primary assault rifles, things like that. So, you know, the robbers are going to be playing with AK-47s, while the cops are going to be having M16s, which I absolutely love. There's a lot of kind of smaller nods into it, too, that I appreciate, such as turning radios on or on the map, and they play, you know, some generic beat that's very recognizable, so to speak. I think it's just to avoid licensing problems, but it's really welcome. I love the choke points on the maps too. All of the doors, I mentioned the vault door. Well, the nice thing is all of the doors in the bank can actually be shut from the inside. Now, when these doors are shut from the inside, the robbers or the attacking team, or the police if the robbers happen to take the building, can, you know, not get in from the other side. There's no way to open them from the other side, especially when you start to get into the interior of the building, which is really cool. I think this is actually a really interesting way to set up choke points, although in Battlefield it's not like Rainbow Six where you're going to be holding a lot of positions. There's a lot of people frantically running around and, you know, constantly jumping up and down and trying to find various ways to get in because everyone likes to play that kind of team deathmatch based content, right? But I've got to say that with Heist, I found that my teammates were very participating very well with the objectives, right? So a lot of the objectives were being taken, a lot of the cashbacks were being brought out because it's a simple concept that really pushes infantry-based combat, and it's something I absolutely love. So I have been playing a lot of Heist. I've been thoroughly enjoying it. Choke points are great. Like, for example, most of this video you guys are seeing me right now too on this stairwell. So this stairwell actually overlooks the entire entryway from the cop's spawn point. Now the cops can go around a different way by using a ladder or using various doors and entryways that they can get in to this area. I mean, this is not the only entrance into the bank, but a lot of people tend to go ahead and plow through this main entrance. And if you can control the choke point, which is the upper stairwell, you're golden. You can really lock down the other team, and this is something I really like about the game. It feels tactically driven, more so than Battlefield 4 did for me. Now, I gotta say, it's probably just on this mode. While I don't have any footage of it, I did play the two other modes. One of them is Traditional Conquest, which for me is just something that was great back in the day with Battlefield. It is no longer my favorite thing to do, so I actually tend to not play Conquest. I just don't enjoy it. I don't enjoy the constant spawn swapping and the constant control point swapping. It's not fun to run all the way over to A, cap A, only to lose D, E, and C, and F, and all that other stuff, and then go back and recapture them all again. That's just not for me. So while the vehicle combat in this game does feel a little bit better and a little bit more balanced, it still isn't my favorite. I think the infantry-driven combat, the cops versus robbers, the undercover versus gang is really what shines in this game. Now that being said, one big change that I actually really appreciate is the previous class which replaced engineer. I think it's operator, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong though. Haven't spent too much time with Battlefield Hardline recently. Used to be able to carry a rocket launcher, an RPG, just on their back, and now you can no longer do that, right? The rocket launchers and other, equipment enhancing abilities and things along those lines are actually picked up all over the map, including defibrillators, which I thought was very interesting. Now, granted, I haven't purchased defibrillators for the police or the, I think it's adrenaline shot for the robbers, which is the revive, but it's a one-time use, and this is something that I really, really enjoy. I found that in order to, go around the map and have these various things like ammo crates, which can restore your ammo from lockers, which are in the security rooms, actually create some great points for you and your team to hold and lock down. It's really nice. I feel like this game is a lot better than it was last year when I played it in the early access and then the closed beta, along with many of you guys. And it's something I'm very happy about. Pushing back games, I think, is a great thing, especially with all these next-gen titles, because a lot of them feel rushed, right, in order to get them out on the market and sold. But I gotta admit, Visceral did a great job polishing this game up. I was not a believer, and to be fair, I'm still not much of a believer, but I'm nonetheless excited to get more into the beta, unlock some more abilities. Even the customization menus and things feel a lot better. It's just a much, much more polished beta compared to the one we played roughly 8 months ago or so. So I gotta admit, guys, if you're on Xbox One, PS4, or PC, definitely go check out the Battlefield Hardline beta. It's free to download, I believe, for everybody, and the servers will be running all week until late next Monday, if I'm not mistaken. I've only put about 4 hours in, and these are games that you guys are seeing from those 4 hours, but I do intend on going back to it when I have some more time at the end of the week and actually diving into it. It's a very entertaining beta. It's something that I actually had a lot of fun with because of all the infantry-based combat, and it's a beta I definitely feel is worth your guys' time. So if you're looking for something to play this week, I highly recommend giving Battlefield Hardline another shot via the open beta. Again, it's on Xbox One, PS4, and PC as far as my knowledge goes. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, hit that like button, and feel free to subscribe to the channel for more gaming videos. My name is Nick, otherwise known here as Avialence, and I will talk to you guys in the next video.